I want to welcome you to the iPhone photography course. We're going to teach ordinary users how to take extraordinary video and photo using nothing but their iPhone. Because as you know today, the iPhone is the most used camera on the market. And as we all well know, it is also the camera that we always have with us no matter when or where we may be. And as we've already stated, photography it comes in three different components: composition, exposure, and post-processing. And we're going to break down composition into 5 more elements, and that's going to be called pattern, which we have patterns all around us, as you can see in the world we live in. Symmetry, think of it as if you draw a line right down the center of something. You have the same thing on the left as you do on the right. That is what symmetry is. Texture, we've all seen different textures, and this will help your photographs appear more three-dimensional if you can include some different types of textures in your photographs. Depth of field, this is one of the biggest things in photography that people want. They want that very, very shallow depth of field when they're taking those macro and close-up shots. What am I referring to? I'm talking about where the object you're focused on is very, very clear and everything in the background is blurred out. That's called a depth of field, and it's also referred to as the DOF. So keep that in mind as we go along. That will be the acronym we will use for that. And the depth of field allows you to isolate a particular object in an image, and that way you can train the eye to go exactly where you want it to go in a photograph. Lines can draw your eyes to key focal points also, so keep that in mind. There's different ways that you can sort of trick the eye to get it to come wherever you would want it to be. Now, talking about composition, that's where you have arranged the different elements within a way that suits the idea or the goal of the work you're doing. Arranging elements can be done by actually moving the objects around physically. A good example for this case would be thinking about a portrait or a still life photograph. These are a couple of examples we've already discussed. And this is how photographers guide your eyes toward the most important parts of their work that they want you to notice in a particular image. There may be hundreds of different parts of an image or parts of the composition, and there's only one part of that composition that the photographer is wanting to have the viewer look closer at. And that will be when they will use the symmetry or textures or depth of fields. There's many different ways that you can things you can use. And what the iPhone usually, what we have to fall on to do this with our iPhone is different applications. And we're going to discuss some very, very helpful applications, and I'm going to show you some of the benefits of using those applications. So very, very good examples for that would be, one of my favorite applications would be Photoshop. And we'll talk more about it in a moment because you can just do so much with it. But I could teach a course on nothing but Photoshop Touch, and it's an awesome application, guys. It's a little expensive, but you will see it's worth the $10. So let's go ahead and get started discussing some of these different aspects in the different applications that we will be looking at.